In this class, we will see how to use for loop to assign elements to an array. So what it means is, so far in our previous classes, we have assigned the values onto the array while declaring the array itself. So this is how the initialization of elements onto the array is done in our previous examples. But what if there is a real world requirement where the user has to provide the elements of an array? So is it required or not? Yes, there is a possibility where the user of the program has to allocate the elements onto the array. So in such cases, we can do that by using the for loops. So to understand this concept, I have taken this simple program, very simple program. So by using this program, we will understand how to assign the values onto the array by using for loops. So here we are having two variables. One is mark of 4. So there is an array called mark, and this array is of size 4 elements, and the counter I is used for the for loop counter. So the first for loop, we have taken this for loop. This for loop is to assign the values onto the array, and in the second for loop, we are going to display all the marks that are given by the user. So all those marks we are going to print one after the other. So let's get started with our first for loop. So how many times this for loop is going to iterate? This is going to start from 0 and it is going to I less than 4, 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, means 4 elements. So for 4 elements, this for loop is going to iterate for 4 times. Every time this prompt will get printed, enter student. So here the student number, student 1 marks, student 2 marks, student 3 marks. Every time we enter into this for loop, this particular printf will get printed. Now after that, this scanf will get executed. So this is very important part to understand. So here, what is the first value of I? The first value of I is 0. So the 0th element address. So how we are going to get that? So this is what we have discussed in our previous class. It is array indexing. So how that can be done? So for that, the formula that we are going to use is, it is base address plus I into, so it is size of elements. So in this case, the size of element is 4 bytes because the value of here, it is an integer type. So let's assume that it is 4 bytes. So how we are going to calculate the first address, marks of 0 address, and here is the array that here is the memory. So in this memory, let's assume that the starting address is 100. Now onto this, the marks value is 100, the initial value is 100. So now whenever marks of 0 is there, we have to get the element, we have to store the element onto this place. So these are the 4 bytes of space that is allocated for marks of 0. So that calculation is done, the base address is 100 and the index is 0 into size of element is 4. Now the final value is going to be the memory location 100. So this is the place where the marks that are provided by the student, by the user for the first time. So the marks of 0th student will get stored. So let's assume that the marks are provided by the student, by the user is 30. So the 30 will get stored in this location. In the second iteration, where the value of I is equal to 1, now what happens? Now what happens is, marks of 1 means this is the place where the first student marks are to be stored. So how that will get calculated? It is 100 plus 1 into 4, which is 4 plus 100, which is going to be 104. So this is the location where the first student marks will get stored. So let's assume that the user has given it as 50. So the 50 marks will get stored here. So these are the 4 locations. So where this 50 will get stored. Okay. So the second iteration. So first iteration and second iteration. So here the value of I will become 2. Now how to calculate? It is 100. It is very simple. So by this time you will be able to get this point, which is 2 into 4, which is going to be 108. So this is the location where the third student marks are to be stored. And let's assume that the marks are provided by the user is 20. So this is how we can assign the values onto the array by using for loop. The user can assign the values onto the onto the array by using this for loop. So what about this second for loop? Here we are displaying the already assigned marks will get displayed by using this for loop. So the printf statement is very straightforward. Student %d colon %d slash n means the student number will be provided. After that the colon will get printed, and in this printf, so this I plus 1 is going to print the student number, student1 colon. So the marks of student marks of I, here it is 0, marks of 0. Marks of 0 is 30, 30 will get printed. In the second iteration, the value of I will become 1. Marks of 1 is going to be 50, the 50 will get printed. Similarly 20. So the third iteration, marks of 2, the 20 will get printed. So on, the complete array, the elements of the array will get printed by using this for loop. Okay, so this is how we can assign the values onto the array, and we can access the elements and print. So based upon the requirement, we can print all the elements in the array. Okay, so that's it for this video. In our next video, we are going to start our lab programs based upon this concept of arrays. So let's start with the lab programs in our next class. So that's it for this video. See you in the next class.